Welcome. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. My name is Gemini Boudry. I've had the honor to serve as GreenLight's chapter president this semester. On behalf of everyone at GreenLight Solutions, I'm excited to welcome you all to our 11th Solutioneer Showcase. And our very first showcase back in person. Tonight, we celebrate the hard work and dedication of our students, our volunteers, our mentors, our project partners, and everyone at the GreenLight family. We will see the inspiring sustainability work implemented during this semester and their impacts through our students' achievements. If you're joining us here tonight, chances are that you are aware of the growing importance of sustainability. And if you're not aware, hopefully you're here to learn more about it because this is the place to be. Many of us are aware of many of us have seen and heard about how climate change puts us all at risk. Our impacts on the environment, our home, run far deeper and are more complex than we can hope to realize. We have a lot of work ahead of us. But if there's anything that I've learned during my education in sustainability, and which I've seen better implemented here at GreenLight than I have anywhere else in my experience, it's that we all have a part to play and that we can start small. As a young and growing organization, our impacts have remained local for the most part. And while there's no better place to start than your own home, we had a very exciting opportunity to branch out, and GreenLight's impacts have gone global. We now have students from Arizona, California, North Carolina, Rhode Island, as well as Germany, India, and China. Yeah. Very exciting. We're so lucky to have them here with us tonight. During my time with GreenLight, I have been moved by the efforts and expansion of this organization, by the commitment and creativity of our Solutioneers, and I'm humbled to be here in front of you all today. I hope that you leave tonight feeling motivated and inspired to make a difference and hopeful of the future when it will be led by these incredible students. With that being said, welcome to the GreenLight Showcase. And if this is your first time here with us, welcome to the GreenLight family. Before we begin, I'd like to review some Zoom etiquette with you all. Please remain on mute throughout the presentations and turn your cameras off to help us keep a clear internet connection throughout the meeting. You can mute your microphone. There we go, there's my mouth. You can mute your microphone here, turn off your camera here, type your questions in the chat here, and leave the meeting at any time here. If you have any questions at all during the showcase, please post them during the chat, and we will answer as many as possible when we get to the designated time for questions. At the end of the showcase, we will be taking a group picture, which is your entry to the raffle. The prize is an ASU branded cushion seat. We are also going to be sending out a document in the chat that has the LinkedIn information for all of our GreenLight members for your convenience. Please feel free to reach out to any of us. We'd love to hear from you. Now, please give a warm welcome to the leadership team. Without their hard work and support, none of this would be possible. Come on up, friends. Alrighty. As I mentioned before, my name is Gemini Boudry. I'm our chapter president. I'm majoring in economics and business sustainability, and I've been in GreenLight for 4 semesters, twice as a Solutioneer, once as a project lead, and this is my first semester on the leadership team.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nathan Scherter. I'm our VP of Projects. My major is a BS in Sustainability with a minor in Urban Planning. This is my second semester with GreenLight, and I've only ever been a Solutioneer besides this semester on the leadership team.
Hello, everybody. My name is Erin Tronsbein. I'm a senior studying business global politics with a minor in sustainability and a certificate in international business. I am currently serving as the VP of Network Engagement, and I've had the wonderful opportunity to host this event for you all tonight, so I hope you're having a great time. I've been in GreenLight, actually this is my second semester at GreenLight. I got to serve as a project lead last semester on the Mtuli project. So it's been a really great couple of semesters and I love this organization a lot.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jackie Liang. I'm a sophomore studying economics. This is my third semester in GreenLight, serving as VP of, this is my third semester in GreenLight. I'm the VP of recruitment. I started fall of 2020 as a Solutioneer. I was a project lead last semester. And I'm so glad that all of you were able to make it tonight.
Hi everyone, my name is Asia Bach. I'm a sophomore double majoring in business management and marketing, as well as a certificate in small business and entrepreneurship. I am currently the VP of professional development. So I've held a bunch of different workshops just to kind of prepare all of our Solutioneers to start their internship prep and start getting preparing for jobs after college. I've been in GreenLight for 3 semesters and have worked in a couple of different, worked in circular classroom project that we aren't presenting on this time right now. We're kind of taking a break with that. But I've really loved spending time in GreenLight and I hope you guys have an amazing time today.
There it goes. All righty. So the mission of GreenLight Solutions Foundation is to educate and empower students and business leaders to create positive social, environmental, and economic change through sustainability initiatives. Many of our foundation board of directors are GreenLight alumni, so they went through the programs themselves. They helped develop everything and make it better for each generation to come, which is really what sustainability is all about. I would like to take a moment to introduce and recognize our foundation board members. If you are able, please stand or raise your hand on Zoom when you're announced. Ashley Weissman, our executive director and board member in the back. Kevin Kelleher, our co-founder and chairman of the board. Ryan Moores, our co-founder and operations director. From home. There he is, right there. Nate Gassman, our co-founder and senior board member. Mashur Huck, board member and project partner. Christine Siafi, our board member. And Maxwell Scott, our board member, as well as tonight's keynote speaker. Woo! Alrighty, Erin. I will pass it off to Erin to introduce our support team.
Made it.
I
Sorry,
saved.
guys. Long pants. I would like to introduce our support team. We wouldn't be anything without our interns. So if they're here, I'd like them to stand up, or if they're on Zoom, please raise your hand. But we have our 2 interns with us, Hannah Callahan and Lee Barden. And then we also have our IT manager here, Sean Soward. And Sarah Spencer is here with us as well. So give a big round of a hand for them, please. And then we also have our fund committee here with us tonight, either in person or on Zoom. So please give a round of applause for them. They focus on fundraising, uplifting, and networking to grow the GreenLight movement. And so we're really proud of them. They do a lot for GreenLight. They're kind of the behind the scenes people who are throwing all the big fundraising events and getting us out there in the community. So please give a round of applause for them.
Now we will take some time to introduce our wonderful Solutioneers. Can all of our Solutioneers please stand up or raise their hand on Zoom for a round of applause? Awesome. And as Jim and I has already mentioned, we've had a very special opportunity this year, accepting our first ever international applicants. Let's have another special round of applause for those who are able to join us and those who are not. And again, thank you to all these Solutioneers for all their hard work this semester. And next up, we've had 5 amazing individuals serve as our Solutioneer mentors. These mentors have worked with each of our project teams, some of them multiple teams, and have supported them consistently throughout the semester. If we could please have them raise their hand on Zoom, or please stand up and give them a round of applause.
Thank you, Nathan. And thank you again to all of our wonderful Solutioneers. Now I'd like to take a moment for our sustainability recognition. We strive to make our events as sustainable as possible. Here's where we hit the mark. First, our reduced emissions. As a hybrid event, we have quite a few virtual audience members. So thanks to all you folks on Zoom, we're avoiding all of the travel emissions associated with your attendance. Thanks to anyone who carpooled here tonight to help save some fuel, as well as anyone who utilized low energy travel, such as walking, biking, or using public transit to join us. Second is our green menu. All of the food here tonight is locally sourced. It's there in the back. And being locally sourced helps save on transportation fuel and supports local businesses. We have compostable and recyclable dishware and cutlery. You can find recycling bins in the back of the room there. We're still trying to figure out, I think, the compost bin, but we have we have it now, yay! Yes, we have the compost bin at the back, so make sure to keep an eye out on what you get and make sure you put it in the right bin. Lastly, our menu incorporates vegan and gluten-free meals, which are not only great healthy options, they also help save tons and tons of water. So finally, I'd like to address the health and safety protocols for the showcase. Sustainability is not complete without health and well-being. It's SDG 3, it's my favorite. We have sanitation available also in the back, and we have a couple extra sanitizers as well. So if any chance like those go empty, we have extras, and just reach out to any of us and we will get that sorted for you to use at any time. Per ASU's mask policy, we strongly recommend wearing masks indoors, and masks are required where distancing is not possible. So thank you all for cooperating with that. Of course, please try to distance as much as possible within this space. We know it's super exciting to be back in person, but we ask this for the safety of all of our attendees. So now I will pass things off to Ashley with some very, very exciting announcements. Thank you so much.
Okay, can you hear me? I'm a little, okay. Alrighty, thanks guys. Well, these students inspire me and I know they'll inspire you too. So in that spirit, I'm going to read my letter from the 2020 Annual Impact Report and then tell you a little bit about our successes in 2021 and what's to come for 2022. A movement is fueled by its people. People that align in values, mission, and vision. Our people understands the urgency of addressing social injustice, avoiding environmental critical thresholds, and advancing economic innovation. Our people are fueled by a deep passion and they're restless for transformative change. GreenLight's mission begins as to educate and empower. I strive to embody that, challenging our people to realize their full potential and be the most effective sustainability leaders that they can be. Together, we achieved some huge milestones in 2020. We're experiencing great momentum. Our shared vision is compelling, our strategy has clarity, and our team's dedication is stronger than ever. Nothing worth fighting for is easy. I'm empowered by our team for their unwavering determination, the selfless sacrifice that it takes a small nonprofit to make change. The challenge is by no means discouraging. It's what energizes us and rewards us day after day. I honor the journey as we educate and empower our people to overcome our challenges, to grow our impact, creating an army of effective sustainability leaders across the globe. People used to ask me when I would let up, but now they understand that we're not going to stop. Shared fiery passion is a force to be reckoned with. It's only up from here, and I'm in deep gratitude to everyone that has gotten us this far. I challenge you to lead our movement forward. And cheers to the next year of challenges, opportunities, and triumph. So this year has been just that, a lot of challenges, a lot of opportunities, and triumph. I'll give you a snapshot of our successes in 2021. 13 sustainability projects implemented in the community. This means that we helped 10 businesses go green, and 4 of those businesses were repeat customers. We trained 51 students in sustainability project management using our GreenLight Guidelines project process, our Project Lead 101, our Solutioneering 101, their professional swag bags, and the list goes on. We facilitated a workshop, a sustainability workshop for 80 students at Nanzan University in Japan. And we were awarded a grant from New Earth Foundation. So thank you, NEF. And this isn't including all of our fundraising, outreach, program development. This is really just the tip of the iceberg. And last but not least, we were awarded the 2021 Sustainable Nonprofit Award by Mayor Corey D. Woods and the City of Tempe City Council. And for the upcoming year, I'll provide you with a couple teasers. First, we're coming out with our Sustainability Reporting Dashboard, named TVD. This will help businesses to measure their data in waste, water, energy, and social impacts. And not only measure that data, but also provide resources and recommendations for how to improve your sustainability performance. Next, we're coming out with another program that will further help our students be placed in impactful roles after graduation. And this is in partnership with InfoSol, who is also our matching gift partner for Giving Tuesday. So thank you so much, InfoSol. The future is bright, and we can't do it alone. So I'll note that partnerships, donations, corporate giving, sponsorships, you name it. This will allow us to increase our capacity and help more students and more businesses in the future. So reach out, support, collaborate, become a GreenLight Glow monthly donor. And also, it's not too late to give for Giving Tuesday. We're 79% of the way towards our goal, and this is a huge initiative for us. So for donations, you can use the QR code or the text to give number that's found on each of your tables. So now I have the honor of introducing 2 of our new board members, Chris Siafi and Mashur Huck. Our third newest board member is Max Scott, and he is our keynote speaker as well. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being here. And Mashur, you can take it away.
Cool. Thanks, everybody. I'm glad to be here. I've been a project partner for 2 semesters now. And I just, when I first met Ashley, I just fell in love with everything GreenLight was doing, and I had to be involved. I'm a real estate investor, and in real estate, it makes such an impact on sustainability that it needs to be a topic of conversation, and it needs to be normalized. So I'm glad to have this opportunity with GreenLight to be able to kind of direct our mission towards that and invest in our future. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Christine, if you'd like to say anything.
Hi everybody. So I'm Chris Siafi. I joined the board of directors earlier this year, and I was really excited to be asked to join the board because it completely aligns with my interest in sustainability and education. For my day job, I'm a senior advisor for a couple of private equity firms that are working in the sustainability, agriculture, as well as specialty industrial space. And this includes areas such as sustainable packaging and clean energy. Prior to this, I was in charge of global foods R&D at PepsiCo, but I also had the privilege of setting up and running the first sustainability office there. And then prior to that, I spent 20 years working at Merck on cancer drugs and vaccines. Formal training as a veterinarian, and I have graduate degrees in comparative medicine and business strategy, which means you can be a sustainability passioneer with a wide variety of backgrounds. So I'm really excited to be here, quote unquote, and to hear about all the great work you're doing. You're the future. So thank you. Ashley, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Christine. Now I'd like to have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker for the night. His name is Maxwell Scott. He's a new member of our board. And I'm just gonna make this bigger so y'all can see him. And there you go. Max, if you're on.
Sure, thank you so much. Some inspiring words and so much great enthusiasm put towards this movement. I have to say, it's a pleasure to join today amongst so many talented people and so many forward-leaning companies and bright young students. I always appreciate the opportunity to share in the sense of optimism that this community brings together. I remember it was a sense of optimism that created this organization almost 10 years ago. Back then, sustainability was a novel concept. In 2012, when we were starting the conversation about this, people were more concerned that the end of the Mayan calendar would result in the end of the world than they were about the effects of climate change. To pursue sustainability as a career field back then was to be taking a risk. A path did not exist for us. But for those of us who did pursue that path, we rejected the idea that a person's individual actions can't make the world a better place. So we pressed on, even when we struggled. And the biggest challenge we faced in those days was the same challenge that GreenLight Solutioneers and project partners face today. How do you get started? What can a small business or a single person do to make the world more sustainable? When the market for our skills and education didn't exist, we created our own opportunities. For example, I thought there ought to be a National Honor Society for sustainability. This could recognize our academic achievements. I'm sure some folks may participate in that organization now. I also thought a student-run sustainability consultancy could be a way for us to apply our education, learn valuable skills, and help the business community. The seed of that idea led us to start a grassroots movement to educate and empower both students and business leaders to create positive social, environmental, and economic change through tailored sustainability initiatives and the hands-on projects you all are doing. And after all these years, it's why we're still here today. In 2021, GreenLight Solutions Foundation is a certified 501c3 nonprofit with over 300 student alumni, more than 50 corporate project partners, and a track record of successful sustainability initiatives in the US, UK, Malawi, Japan, and elsewhere, as Ashley and others have mentioned today. GreenLight Solutions has contributed over 31,000 hours of volunteer service towards advancing the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Over 90% of GreenLight alumni are able to find employment after completing our programs. 84% of them are employed in STEM fields, and the majority of our alumni are women. Through hard work and optimism, GreenLight Solutions hopes to inspire a world where purpose-driven leaders create a resilient and equitable future. We are a resource for the business community and the leaders here today who share this vision. Whether you are a student or a business, no one should ever feel like they can't make a difference and make the world a better place for future generations. Sustainability is never out of reach. For businesses, GreenLight provides professional sustainability services at a cost nearly anyone can afford. We can chart a path for you, and we can make it profitable. We are funded by generous tax-deductible donations and community support, which enables us to maximize our impact and reduce barriers to entry. For students, know this: the most basic definition of sustainability is the capacity to endure. This organization was started by students just like you. We didn't know where this was going to go, but we believed in what we were doing and we didn't give up. We pressed on, we endured. Ashley mentioned this. In 2020, a global pandemic created unparalleled challenges for the business community. As businesses were forced to reduce their operations and confront a new normal, GreenLight got to work, adapting its operations to help in new ways. Many of our operations went virtual. Last year, as Ashley mentioned, GreenLight completed 10 projects with 7 businesses in the Phoenix Valley alone. During the pandemic, GreenLight's works increased solar energy adoption, provided family-friendly environmental education, improved ridership on public transportation, increased access to food service programs, and brought sustainability concepts like the circular economy to high school classrooms. In addition to these projects, in 2020, GreenLight also hosted 14 professional training sessions and 10 virtual events for the broader business community. As a result of this work, we can be proud that in April 2021, the City of Tempe recognized GreenLight Solutions Foundation with the 2021 State of the Neighborhood Sustainable Nonprofit Award. This award would not have been possible without the courage and support of students, businesses, and regular Arizonans willing to take brave steps towards sustainability and creating a brighter future for generations to come. I know a brighter future is possible because it's happened for me. My dream when I was a student at ASU School of Sustainability was to apply the skills I gained at the ASU internationally in the policy space. I wasn't born into a family that did that. The job that I wanted didn't even exist yet. I hadn't even been to DC. I got rejected to every internship I applied to as an undergraduate. Even after I did get a meaningful internship, I still couldn't find work in my field of choice. I got a job in consulting and I made the most of it, but I endured and I never gave up. I was 26 when I finally got recruited by the State Department to do foreign policy. My path wasn't perfect, but at 28, I was handpicked for a job at the White House Office of the US Trade Representative. I've been able to travel to over 40 countries to deepen the global consensus on how to design, deploy, manufacture, and use technology for the benefit of society. But outside of this work, I'm most proud of what we're doing here. My hope is that students who participate in GreenLight programs are inspired to dream big and empowered to take their own steps towards realizing their goals. We love to see them return as GreenLight project partners. I hope to hear them as keynote speakers in these future events. Because of the work of so many people like you, sustainability isn't a novel concept anymore. When I started my foreign policy career, for example, John Kerry was the Secretary of State. He led the US negotiations for the Paris Climate Accords. He's now the first ever special presidential envoy for climate change. Again, a position that didn't even exist until last year. To quote Secretary Kerry on combating climate change, succeeding together means tapping into the best of American ingenuity, creativity, and diplomacy, from brain power to alternative energy, using every tool we have to get where we have to go. That is the capacity to endure. And that is why countless GreenLight alumni have gone on to successfully pursue meaningful careers in sustainability. There has never been a better time to get involved, and the time for action is now. There's so much more that GreenLight can do to help. And Ashley shared some of the exciting updates and some of the things that we're working on. In the next year, we will be rolling out a suite of these new initiatives designed to support our project partners and students. This is only a fraction of what we can do with your support. We hope you enjoy our hospitality today and stay to hear more about the work of our most dedicated students. We're all in this together and we're only getting started. Thank you. I'd be happy to take any questions either about my work or about GreenLight.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. It's so nice to see a board member who's so passionate about GreenLight as much as we are. If you're okay, we'd like to start a Q&A session. So if anybody has any questions, we'll be running a mic around. If you are on Zoom, please feel free to use the chat function. We'll have somebody monitoring the chat. And if you would like to speak in person on Zoom, just go ahead and raise your hand and we'll be looking out for that as well. You can also take this time if you'd like to get up and get some food. I know you guys are all probably starving and you can see it. So
Max, this is Kevin Kelleher, and I am curious, as one of the newest board members to GreenLight, what makes you most excited about being involved in GreenLight?
Yeah, it's a great question. One of the things that I referenced in my remarks was the fact that GreenLight was started from the idea that people can reject a dystopian future. And if you're optimistic, you can create the world that you want to be. And when I look around and I see all the people speaking today about and that are so excited and that are so young and passionate about sustainability, it makes me optimistic about the future. And in joining the board, I can't be more thrilled to support their dreams and to do what I can to make sure that they have what they need to thrive and to grow and to become the leaders that they want to be and that I know that they can be. So I'm here for you all, and I'm excited to see and to hear what you will do with the future. And I'm excited to be a part of that future, even if it's a small part, serving on the GreenLight board.
Does anybody on Zoom have any questions?
Ryan has a question. Ryan, if you want to go for it.
Sure, yeah, I'll vocalize it. Max, curious about your global travels, and what did you learn about the global perspective on sustainability in your travels? And are there any major differences from here in America?
Yeah, it's a really great question, and it's a big question with quite a complicated answer. What I can say is many countries view sustainability in different ways. For some countries, it's been a part of their culture since the hundreds of years before the United States even existed. The United States, you have to remember, is a very young country. We've not been around for a very long time in our current formulation. And for us, our culture is driven by the idea that we have this freedom and individuality, and in some ways that makes it hard to apply the principles of sustainability, because sustainability is something that requires collective action. It's something that requires lots of people to work together towards a shared goal. But in America, you can work towards your own ends. Everybody has their own ambitions. And I think that's one of the challenges that we have in terms of pursuing sustainability in the US, is getting people to see the value, to understand it, but also to work together. In other countries, there are countries that have more of a collective mentality where, when they were asked to put on masks, for example, it was a no-brainer because they see the value of working together on a goal that supports their local community. And sustainability is a much more easier concept for them to grasp. And so while we are a very advanced economy and a very advanced country with amazing technology and probably one of the most profitable nations in the world, there's a lot we can still learn from other cultures. And certainly I've seen a lot in some of the travels that I've done that we can adapt and where we can work together, not just as the US, but in the groupings of nations and in organizations like the United Nations and elsewhere, to work towards a shared goal. And that's sort of what I hope, is that some of these major crises that we have here in the US will be able to see the importance of working together. And I hope that through organizations like GreenLight mainstreaming the concepts of sustainability, it makes it easier for people to collaborate.
Hi, I was wondering, are there any experiences that you've learned from your current position that we as Solutioneers could start applying to our developing professional lives?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I would give you two, I would say two things to answer that question. The first thing is just, if I've learned anything, it's how to embrace failure. I think especially here, and especially, in this day and age, it's very difficult to, people tend to think that when they fail at something, it's a bad thing. But whenever you fail at something, it's really an opportunity to learn. And the sooner you can embrace that, and the sooner you can put yourself out there without losing a sense of optimism, the more successful you're going to find that you're going to be able to be. Certainly that was core to my journey as well. I don't think anything really came easy for me. It was all a lot of hard work, and it was all a lot of trying and then trying again. And that's what I would encourage you guys to do, is to think about what you really, really want to do, and don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. And then the other thing I would tell you is just a little bit about humility. You know, if you push yourself, you'd be amazed at how far you can come. But never forget where you came from, and never forget the people that helped you along the way. And always remember that you're only a small part of a much grander story. And as long as you maintain your humility, you can really even accelerate even quicker, and people will want to work with you, want to empower you, and want to support you. That's how you build a community that can create a lot of lasting change in your professional career. And those are the two pieces of advice I hope to leave you with today. But it's a great question, and I appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much. So that'll be the end for the Q&A section for Max. And then we'll be moving on to the presentation. Thank you so much for presenting to us and for answering all those wonderful questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Scott. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and maybe we can send out some more information about anything you guys are curious about after the event when we send our follow-up email. So now we would like to begin with our Solutioneer project presentations. It's the reason we're all here. We're so excited. We will have a brief Q&A session for about 5 minutes after every presentation, but also feel free to put any questions you may have in the chat. We will be monitoring that as well. We will also have a networking opportunity after the showcase. So when all the presentations are done, feel free to mingle, utilize our wonderful photo booth, have some dessert, and enjoy the rest of the food. By the way, any of the food that won't be eaten tonight will be donated to the ASU dining hall, so we will not be wasting anything at all. So now please let me introduce you to our first group, the Solutioneers who have dedicated their time this semester to the Sierra Service Project. Please give them a warm welcome.
Oh, sorry, guys. Okay. All right. JD, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome, thank you. Hi everyone, I'm JD. This is my second semester with GreenLight. I was the project lead for Sierra Service Project. I currently reside in Flagstaff, Arizona, and I'm a sustainability major at NAU with a double minor in urban planning and community organizing.
Hi all, I'm Christina. This is my first semester with GreenLight. I'm a senior at the University of Wisconsin, getting my master's in environmental sustainability management.
Hi everyone, I'm Jenny. This is my first semester at GreenLight. Currently, I'm a senior at UC Davis studying environmental science.
And my name is Kristen Keller. This is my second year at MCC. I am going to get a major in environment and resource management with a minor in sustainability.
So Sierra Service Project, which goes by SSP, is a Christian nonprofit that does access service through repair projects in their partner communities. These projects are done over the summer, over the course of a week, and they host multiple service weeks throughout the summer session. And for this upcoming summer session, SSP is partnered with 3 communities, one of which is in Arizona, which is super cool. We had the pleasure of getting to work directly with SSP's executive director, Megan Taylor, who has been heading the organization since 2018. And I'll pass it off to Kristen.
Thank you, JD. Okay, so our project partner reached out to us because they wanted to become more sustainable, but they really didn't know where to start. They had one headquarters, which was in California, but it wasn't used very regularly. So conducting a waste audit wouldn't be very beneficial to the organization. Additionally, the project locations varied year to year. So since they were constantly on the move, they wanted us to figure out a way to not only reduce their waste production, but also divert their waste into recycling, but also keep track, of their progress with multiple and varying locations.
So because we weren't able to obtain data personally, our goal was to create a way for SSP's team of volunteer and staff members to go and track these sustainability areas themselves. Now, with these unique conditions come unique strategies that we needed to develop in order for SSP to be able to decide their best course of action. So far, we have recommended and developed tracking documents in which SSP can record their sustainability areas. And we've also identified those areas in our project. We've also created infographics to help guide the staff and volunteers when filling out these spreadsheets. Now, with this information, this will allow us to identify growth opportunities in which we hope to work with SSP again and maybe develop a 5-year sustainability plan. Now passing it off to Jenny to discuss more about our process.
Awesome, thanks, Kristen.
Oops, sorry.
No worries.
Hi.
Sorry, could you go to the previous slide?
Is that better?
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so in short, the overall vision that our team has for the Sierra Surface project is for them to have a baseline for measuring their sustainable efforts, which will then help inform and create their 5-year plan. And in order to achieve this vision, our team's mission for this semester is to create a baseline with some appropriate resources and guidelines that are informed by best practice research for SSP to use. And I'll be sharing more on our objectives in the next slide. Okay, so our team has identified 4 objectives that we want to achieve this semester. Our first objective was to better understand SSP, such as the scope of the organization and if they have any current sustainable initiatives in place. We then try to identify focus areas that are areas of improvement for their sustainable efforts. Once we have a better understanding of SSP, our next objective was to compile sustainable goals that are actually suitable for the organization. So we try to identify gaps in their sustainable efforts and come up with strategies that they might consider for their sustainability plan. And from there, our third objective was to identify and understand what are the best practices out there for creating effective sustainability metrics for SSP to measure their efforts. And after compiling those practices, our fourth and final objective was to establish baseline for 1 to 2 sustainability metrics. We aim to produce 2 visuals that provides guidelines for SSP to actually record and track their sustainability progress.
Okay. Sorry, continue, Jenny.
Oh, sorry, could you move to the next slide?
Yes. Ooh.
Yeah, okay, so here are the 5 focus areas that our team has identified as some of the most important areas of growth for SSP's sustainability strategies. These include measuring and reducing food waste, tracking and lowering down travel emissions from the staff and volunteers, reducing construction waste, promoting local purchasing options for various locations, and we've also included an educational component where we try to make the staff and volunteers be more aware of the impact of their actions on the environment and also the ways that they could become more sustainable. So now I'll pass it off to Christina, who will share more about our final products.
Thank you, Jenny. So for SSP's final products, we created 2 Excel sheets to be used throughout the 3 camp weeks. First was a recycling and trash weight records, where the students can weigh their recyclables and trash to track and compare how much recyclables versus trash generated were on a weekly basis. This assists in finding out the total weights of recyclables and trash generated throughout the summer program. The second Excel sheet is a travel emission tracking page. It is important to track emissions so that students can understand how much carbon they are contributing when traveling and how they can lower these during the coming years. Students can enter type of travel, number of people, miles traveled to calculate total emissions created that summer in the hope it will be lowered each year. We also created pamphlets and resource documents. We will be looking at 2 of these infographics on the next slide. For infographics, we made a sustainable packing list, a how to recycle list, and how to measure recyclables and trash pamphlets to assist the volunteers and students. All of these elements that we created for SSP supports the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, which we will talk about in more detail on the next slide. We believe that SSP's Sustainable Development Goals falls under number 12, responsible consumption and production, as we have encouraged them in the focus areas to lower their trash, recyclables, food waste, and travel emissions. We have also created pamphlets to help them become more aware of the impact they make on the environment and being conscious of their transitions to more sustainable practices. By taking these sustainable actions, SSP is making a smaller environmental footprint and is teaching students how they can create a more sustainable lifestyle. Passing the next slide to Kristen.
Thank you, Christina. All right, so it is never too early or too late to go and support SSP. They still need volunteers for their 2022 summer program, and there is never enough or too little. This is a great way to go and serve others, as well as leave a lasting impression on the community as well as the environment. However, if you do not have the capacity to volunteer, SSP would greatly appreciate any donations. In fact, half their budget comes from donations, which allows SSP to continue to serve and rebuild these communities. However, also don't forget to follow SSP on their social media in order to keep track of their projects, progress, and support them on their sustainability journey. Now to JD with some final words.
Thanks, Kristen. On that note, I'd like to thank our project partner, Megan, who was very involved with the whole team throughout the semester, as well as thank our project mentor, Safia and Mary, who were so helpful in guiding us through this process and providing us with tons of feedback throughout the semester. As a team, we're really grateful for the opportunity that SSP gave us. As an organization, SSP works heavily with high schoolers and middle schooler volunteers, so the opportunity to get to expose these kids to sustainability is really significant and has the potential to be quite impactful. In addition to the opportunity to expose kids to sustainability concepts, we're also really excited to help initiate SSP sustainability goals in their efforts, and we're excited to see what future Solutioneers get to continue on from this semester and where the project ultimately leads. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Sierra Service Project, so much. Right now, we will go to having one question for in-person and one question for virtual people before we begin with our Mtuli Foundation. If an in-person individual would like to ask their question, if they have one. And we have no questions online either, so we will hand it off to the Mtuli Foundation. Oh, I'm sorry, Jim has a question.
Yeah, thank you, Nathan. Yeah, guys, first of all, great job. And I wanted, you know, because you were right at the beginning of something, and so you had to come up. How did you come up with the spreadsheets? You know, like for sustainability, I'm really interested in the one like how much gas did you use, how many people, right? So what was the carbon footprint? What were the things that went into that spreadsheet?
Okay, so to answer your question, what we came up with was pretty much based off of the retreat Excel spreadsheet that GreenLight guidelines or GreenLight used with the retreat. It did have where they were, how many people they could carpool with. It kind of gave us a great starting point to expand on that and be able to keep track of their mileage as well. So we kind of took it based off of what we've already experienced, what we already have, and we just expanded upon that. Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you.
No problem.
And we have one more question online from Connor. He's asking, is that travel checklist available online? Because he'd love to share that with his frequent flyers in his community.
Well, right now we do have the spreadsheet. It is not online. However, we would be more than willing to go and email it or share it with you. Just email one of us. You can email project partner, and we're more than willing to go and send that out to you.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Awesome. That is going to wrap up our questions, guys. All right, and let's hear it for the Mtuli Foundation.
Hi, everyone. Our team worked with the Mtuli Foundation this semester on sustainable agriculture in Malawi. So I'm Riley. I'm a junior at ASU studying sustainability with a certificate in sustainable food systems.
And I'm Rachel. I'm majoring in sustainability as well with a certificate in environmental education.
So our project partner, the Mtuli Foundation, is a nonprofit organization that operates in the Karanga district of northern Malawi. Part of their mission is to promote skills and capacity building in rural Malawi through community engagement. So this means that not only are they trying to create change, but they're trying to ensure that everyone has the opportunity to be involved in it. Robert, the one in the middle of this photo, founded Mtuli in 2019, and he's now the executive director. He also worked with GreenLight last semester. So Mtuli reached out to GreenLight the beginning of this year, looking for different techniques in sustainable agriculture and irrigation that they could implement in their community. And in response to this, our team created 2 guidebooks full of research on different practices they could use and the best way to go about it. So our challenge this semester was to take that research and turn it into another format to make it more accessible to the community and the schools there. So we just wanted to show them how that they could use our research while also creating educational materials for the students.
The 2 SDG goals, or the Sustainable Development Goals, that we were focusing on this semester were the 2nd and the 17th. And the 2nd SDG goal is zero hunger, or to end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. This is Mtuli's main mission because they're focused on how they can combat climate change because of the effects of drought and floods in their communities. And they're seeking to improve their crop yields and to provide nutritious food for their communities. And the 17th goal is the Partnership for Goals, or to strengthen the means of implementation and revitalization the Global Partnership for Sustainable Development. Since this is an international project, we're focusing on how we can learn together with the Mtuli Foundation and to strengthen, help them strengthen their communities. At the beginning of the semester, we created a vision and a mission statement for our project. These are mission and vision statements that we wanted to achieve by the end of our semester. Our vision for the end of the project was the Mtuli Foundation is now able to spread awareness about sustainable agriculture through the community and has an increase of resources for funding opportunities based on outreach. And this helped us visualize where we want to be. And the mission was that by the end of the semester, we would have a shareable way to spread our information through their community and find ways to connect and to learn with them through our funding and partnerships.
So yeah, at the beginning of the semester, we created 2 main objectives. And the first and main objective was to create this guide full of sustainable agricultural practices in Malawi. We aimed to get a minimum of 4 videos for them with about 2 to 3 concepts each, just to make sure that we were covering a variety of topics. And then our second objective was to share videos with members of the community so we could get feedback and make sure that our videos were as clear as possible for the project partner. And we aim to get feedback from about 5 community members. This is where we're at in our project currently. We're finishing up our videos and getting them sent out so we can edit them for our project partner. So we ended up creating a total of 4 videos, and we put them into two main categories. The first one was educational videos. So based off of our project partners' interests, we created a video on solar energy and a video on sustainable planters. And the video on solar energy not only goes through definitions and explanations for the students so that they can have a basic understanding of how solar energy works, but it also includes some activities for them to engage in. And then the video on sustainable planters goes through some of the systems that they already have implemented in their community, like raised bed planters or sub-irrigated planters. And then it also goes over other topics that they can add to their systems, like mulching or intercropping. The next two videos were more about instructional videos, and the first instructional video that we focused on was rainwater harvesting and irrigation. And so this was a simple step-by-step way for them to create their own rainwater collection harvesting systems in their schools and their communities. And there were cheap recyclable ways to do some of these projects, and how to irrigate them through drip irrigation. And the next video described how they can set up composting systems as well, and the step-by-step way to do that. And we hope to get that out to them so they can start implementing that into their communities. Okay, we came away with this activity with a lot of new experiences. With our project partner being located in Malawi, there's a language barrier that was there. And so now our next focus is to translate our videos into to be more comprehensible for their communities. By learning and understanding these simple, sustainable systems, we can make a difference in their communities, and we learn together and to find ways that we can specialize in certain areas through sustainable agriculture. These videos hopefully will help us learn, and even through this language barrier. With the current, they currently have sub-irrigated planters, and they're making strides in Malawi to find ways to get their community involved, and we hope that our videos will be the next step in that, that process. So yeah, Mtuli's been working really hard to ensure that their community is operating in a sustainable way, and I know they would appreciate any help getting there. Right now, they have a campaign going to create food forests in their community to take advantage of their upcoming rainy season and increase their crop yield. They'll also be using them as demonstration gardens for the students and the schools, the community, to help them get a better understanding of sustainable farming. They're preparing the soil and beginning to plant this month, and then they will continue maintenance throughout next year. They have a more detailed plan laid out in this link right here, as well as a place to donate if you can. So thank you for coming to our showcase. Let's see, if you want to reach out to Mtuli, we have their emails right there. I know our team is super grateful to have worked with such an amazing project partner and on such an interesting project. We also have a QR code for the Food Forest campaign right there, so feel free to scan that. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask them now, or you can always contact one of us after the showcase.
Awesome. All right, so we have a question from Jim again. Jim, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. As part of our sustainability project as well with EverSmart, we're absolutely looking at sustainable crops and rainwater solutions. So how do I get my hands on your videos when you're done?
We'll be forwarding them out shortly. You can reach out to us in the Mtuli Foundation email, and we're actually finalizing our videos and sending them out to the community members right now.
Okay, great. Great work. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. And if we don't have any other questions, that'll be the end of our Q&A session, but you can still put questions into the chat.
Thank you, Mtuli. That project has a special place in my heart because I was on it last semester. So they were actually our first ever international project partner last semester. So very special. Now I'd like to introduce our next presentation with SPS Architects. I'm really excited for you guys to see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the SPS Architects project. So before we get started, I would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Megan Marshall, and I'm the project lead this semester. I was born and raised in Gilbert, Arizona, and I am very excited to tell you more about this project. I am graduating this December with a Bachelor of Arts in Sustainability and a certificate in Food Systems.
Most of you already know me, but I am Kristen. Again, I'm majoring in environment and resource management, and I'm actually native to Mesa.
So a bit more about our project partner. It is SPS Architects. They are a Scottsdale and Tucson-based architecture firm. They prioritize in residential and commercial properties. They go above and beyond architectural standards by working on lead projects and jumpstarting the sustainability initiatives. And so the people that we worked with most are Maggie and Carolina. They have been amazing people that were very involved in this process. And so we'd like to thank them right now for that.
All right, so our project partners reached out to us because they wanted to understand how sustainable they were and how they could also improve. Their challenge to us was to establish a baseline in order to figure out ways that they could reduce their waste production, as well as divert waste into recycling and composting streams instead of directly into the landfill. Now, with that challenge in mind, we decided our best course of action was to conduct a waste audit. We also compiled and distributed a questionnaire in order to get a better understanding of the work habits at the Scottsdale facility. Once we collected this data, we were going to analyze the results. In doing so, we were going to create a report that SPS can keep as record in hopes that we would be able to work with them again to create a 5-year sustainability plan. Now, our final task was to make recommendations on ways that they could reduce their waste and divert it into the recycling and composting streams. What we did is we included that in the reports as well as infographics. And our hope is that we provide them with enough information and resources to make and guide their best course of action.
And so with this project, we envisioned that SPS Architects will have the tools, strategies, and education to operate a waste-conscious workplace culture and also to actively reduce their waste production. And with that in mind, our mission is to conduct the waste audit to get a baseline of where they're at currently. After that, we also wanted to conduct employee interviews to get a qualitative approach to see how work culture is and how the employees perceive sustainability. And lastly, we want to develop recommendations to make sure that their office space is as sustainable as possible. And so with that in mind, our structure for this project included 3 objectives. The first being completing the waste audit. And so with that in mind, we conducted an outside dumpster audit as well as an inside the office audit. With our KPIs, we wanted to collect at least 3 days of audit data. Next is our second objective, which is to conduct an SPS staff questionnaire, like I mentioned before. And lastly, we wanted to develop recommendations for them to adopt in their day-to-day operations.
All right, so a few things to note with the waste audit as we were doing it. The first thing to note was for the outdoor, they actually didn't have a scheduled dumpster pickup. So there was no accurate way for us to tell how much waste they produced in the week. With that being noted, the dumpsters were public. Therefore, we don't specifically know, or we can't make sure that it wasn't all of SPS's waste, so there could be additional material. Lastly was the fact that, oh gosh, but with that being noted, what we did is we focused on the indoor waste audit. That way it's more controlled, it eliminates the anomalies, and we also did have to face Halloween on our second week. So that could have, I know, a lot of candy wrappers, there was a big party going on, but the indoor one did provide us with a little bit less of additional waste. All right, so with that being noted, on your left-hand side are the top 5 items by quantity that we found on the indoor trash bins. On the right-hand side is the top 5 items that contributed the most by weight. As you can see, most of the items by quantity actually contributed very minimally in weight, including the candy wrappers. Yes. Alrighty. So moving along to the composition by weight, what we did notice is that for the recycling bins, the majority was recycled, which is very great. In fact, when we were comparing the recycling bin to the outdoor recycling composition, we actually found the same, almost the exact same percentage of trash. It was 5.4 instead of 5.9, but very close. Now on the right-hand side is our total indoor landfill composition. As you can see, blue is recycling, yellow is compostable, and red is the actual amount of trash that should have been in the landfill. From this, we could conclude that over 2/3 of the items in their landfill bucket could have been diverted into recycling and composting streams.
And with that in mind, this is where we developed some recommendations. The first being company partnerships. We really want SPS Plus to embrace their values in making community relationships. And so with that in mind, we recommend them to work with TerraCycle, which is a nationwide company that recycles alternative materials that would otherwise go into the landfill. So with that, they would be able to divert those candy wrappers from Halloween as well as other snack wrappers. And they could also work with Recycled City. And as you may know, they are a composting company that basically treats composted materials just as recycling that you see on your driveway every Wednesday. Our second set of recommendations is zero waste alternative practices. And so with that, we want to suggest with water bottles at least to replace the single-use ones with reusable ones that office employees can definitely use during the day-to-day. And lastly, we want to provide educational materials based off of recycling and composting methods. So with that, we would have additional infographics, posters, and presentations.
All right, so throughout our project, we did incorporate 3 SDGs. The first one was quality education, which was through our infographics. We did provide not only the top 5 items by quantity and weight, but we also put in a recycling infographic that is specifically Scottsdale. So that way they can go and gain the education they need to properly recycle. The second one was the responsible consumption and production of waste, which we did with our waste audit, in which we established a baseline on where they're at as far as their sustainability is concerned. And our last SDG was number 17, and that is partnerships for the goals, in which we recommended different recycling and composting companies, whether it is locally or nationwide, such as Recycled City.
And so with this project with SPS Plus Architects, we learned a lot of information, both as ourselves, as students, as well as the company. And from our questionnaire, we learned that SPS is a wonderful company that has a very open mindset to implement sustainability, which could lead them to divert at least 2/3 of their waste development.
So there's so much potential into creating a sustainable workplace for you guys. And with that in mind, thank you so much for letting us work with you. And if you want to get involved with SPS projects, you can contact them on their social media, and you can stay up to date on what they are up to in terms of sustainability initiatives. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of your night.
Awesome. Thank you so much, SPS. We will now open it to questions, and it looks like we have one with Ryan, so you can go ahead and start.
Hey, Kristen and Megan, really well presented tonight. Thanks for your project and your presentation on it. I've got a two-part question for you, both about the data and the process. So the slide with the data that showed the discarded items, the quantity and weight, was that what was collected just over the 3-day period? And then my second question is, I'm curious who had the pleasure of actually digging through the waste baskets and counting issues and such?
I can definitely answer that one. All right. So yes, the top 5 items were from the 3 days, 1 per week, that we did with SPS. As far as who got the pleasure of dumpster diving those 3 days was a collective effort. It was Megan, me, and 2 ladies back there that both helped us out. Thank you so much for that. That really helped us and saved a bunch of time. It was so much fun working with you guys. We really appreciated it.
Great job, guys. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Great question, Ryan. Looks like we also have another in-person question if you guys would like to go ahead.
Hi, friends. I was just curious, how did the office workers react to the results of the audit? Were they pleasantly surprised, or were they kind of like, oh, we should do better?
So that's a great question. Thank you so much for asking. Right now, we just finished up with the infographics, and next week we'll actually have a meeting that will discuss further into what our recommendations are, our infographics, and next steps. So we can definitely give you that answer once we have that meeting.
Awesome. Thank you for the questions, everyone. This will end our Q&A session. Feel free to post more questions in the chat, though.
Thank you so much, guys. Wasn't that interesting? Speaking of waste management, just wanted to remind you all as we kind of near eating our food, there is a compost bin back there and a recycling and a trash bin with a little sign to let you know where to put which. So please make SPS proud and put it in the right one. Now I'd like to introduce our next project. This is Dynamic. They have something really interesting to show you.
All right, thank you so much for everyone who has joined us for this special event. So as we are Team Dynamic, and we are excited to say that the partnership is continuing with GreenLight Solutions for this semester. So let us introduce ourselves. My name is Rashab Shiragar. This is not only my second semester at GreenLight Solutions, but it is also my second semester working at Dynamic. And so I am a junior with a double major in finance and economics at ASU. And I'm excited to be a project lead for this semester. And joining with me are my Solutioneer teammates.
Hi, my name is Abby. I'm a double major in business sustainability and supply chain management here at ASU. So go Devils. Basically, I joined. I was just kind of curious about this club. So this is my first semester. I'm a Solutioneer, and it's very exciting to be able to present this to you today.
Hi, I'm Huilin Chen. I double majors in managerial economics and communication at University of California, Davis. And this is my first semester with GreenLight as a Solutioneer, and I'm so happy to be here.
All right, and let's get started. So we are excited to continue its partnership with Dynamic RE. So this was a real estate startup firm when the project partner Masroor Haq and Emily who's also the board of director for GreenLight. He and Emily Lamont Key realized that the technological boom is trying to change the way of the real estate return on investments to their clientele. And so Dynamic RE was a subdivision for Wig Home Investments in order to integrate technology and on offering the value on property values and investment opportunities for their own clientele and their real estate industries. So Dynamic has once again approached to GreenLight Solutions Foundation for a challenge, and that challenge has led to them at a micro level. So Dynamic has been challenged us to create a tool that wants to ensure whether the short-term rental opportunities are eco-friendly enough to offer guests. And the challenge was that we wanted to estimate some of the challenges that wanted to challenge the whole short-term rental operators and long-term investors to see whether there's a beneficial or any benefits that is offering them in the sustainable mankind. According to the booking.com websites, there are now 73% of the guests wanted to see that their short-term rentals, whether when they stay through Airbnb or Vrbo, wanted to see that they're practicing all the sustainability, and they see a lot of changes on sustainable benefits for not only for the owners, but also for their short-term, but also for their guests. Therefore, we came up with the solution that is to build a sustainability framework in order to track any changes and notify themselves whether they're doing the sustainability practices in their own short-term rentals. And this was been organized into categories, by rooms and by metrics, and to track some of the changes that their clientele believes they wanted to make changes in order to have sustainability benefits. However, in order to make it an easily digestible format, this process was actually been created using an ebook to educate their clients as well as their guests who are living through Airbnb and Vrbo to stay at this place, to learn sustainability and how it is beneficial for short-term rental operations. And here's Abby to tell you more about the SDGs related to project.
So there are about 4 that aligned with ours, which is quite a lot. There's a lot of words on the board, but essentially we're really about educating short-term rental owners, and that really goes into economic development and infrastructure, because we're really working with these owners to educate them and incorporate sustainable models into their short-term rentals, and in order to save money or use resources less. This of course also shows that it's UN, so it's global. So it's not just a local impact that we're having, but it's also global. So basically our vision was providing this ebook to short-term rental owners. This of course, incorporates into our mission, which is encouraging short-term rental owners to really become more sustainable overall, which is based off of budget, carbon footprint, and efficiency levels. So going off of that, so we have the 4 objectives that we kind of set out. So the first one was basically researching 20 examples for sustainable short-term rentals to really formulate this framework that we really wanted. And of course, this ties into objective 2 and 3. We basically took that and divided it up into metrics and measurables. This is of course categories, rooms, things that we wanted to see change in the home. Which of course leads to objective 4, which is transferring this into a spreadsheet and an ebook for these rental owners, which of course is also incorporated in the spreadsheet and document. I'm going to pass this off to Hugh Ling.
And this is our final deliverable, the ebook we created with our project partners. We have a short introduction with some statistics that demonstrate the need for our project and that is for the sustainability in short-term rental. And this book taught about what aspects to improve on and how to incorporate them in short-term rentals so that user can get a better understanding of what specific action to take to make short-term rental more sustainable. So let's look into the ebook in more detail here. And we also created an infographic that demonstrates the importance of our project. First, the infographic show the impact of real estate industry at large with statistics like 30% of carbon dioxide emission come from real estate. Then below that, the infographic framed the problem at the home level. For example, 50% of water used outdoor is lost due to inefficient irrigation method. Moving to the next slide. In this slide, it shows the impact at home level, like installing a water-efficient shower head. You can shave up to 88 loads of laundry. Since many clients are looking for investment in real estate, we also highlight a 10% higher appraisal value that greenhouse receives than the traditional counterparts, demonstrating the financial potential of home sustainability. Finally, at the bottom, we also draw attention to our project and have a link to the website. This infographic demonstrates the flow of our project process, and we did primarily research and contribute to each initiative.
All right, so here's how you can help. So you can scan in the QR code. Firstly, please visit the website that we created last semester. We'd like you to add more resources to this website and fill out the survey through this website. Remember, we wanted to add more value to the properties, and we wanted to subtract the carbon footprint. And also, please check out our ebook on the scan QR code and sign up in order to get the ebook for yourself and learn about how sustainability and its impact for the short-term rentals. So a huge thank you for our project partners, Mashroor Haq, who's also the board of directors for GreenLight Solutions Foundation. His incredible support has been made the impactful for the real estate industries. A huge thank you to the community at GreenLight Solutions. This wasn't done without its support of bringing so many consulting projects and to many organizations and businesses. They were managed to impact all the sustainability because of our effort. And thank you for everyone who are here in person as well as in Zoom tonight for learning about this project and interested in making an impact on our projects and learning more about sustainability. And it is a great time here, and we are grateful to see what's next in this project, especially with ours with Green Dynamic. And as always, feel free to connect with LinkedIn with us. We have our QR code scanned, and please connect with us on LinkedIn. And as we are looking to see the green light to move forward. And that is the end of our presentation. And I'm open for 2 questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Rashab and Dynamic. Looks like we have an in-person question if you'd like to go ahead.
Hi, my name is Michelle Coyle. I did take a quick look at that website, and just at a first glance, it does look incredible. So great job on that. I'll say, how are you gonna get more exposure to this site? I mean, it seems like it has excellent resources, and clearly you have your project partner, but is there other ways that you're trying to gain exposure to that site for people to use?
We don't have enough exposure to that, but we are still working on that. So that website is exclusively for showcasing a lot of resources that that the partner's clientele that is offered to the partner's clientele, and that clientele can use these access to these resources to make their own sustainable impact on their housings or on their properties. So this website is actually to provide a lot, hundreds of resources for on sustainability, and that is a complete comprehensive. But as for what we did, this project was inspired with that at a micro level. So we focused a lot on this short-term rental properties, and we wanted to identify some of the factors that we could consider them and which we could use it to educate people and use them into the book. I hope it answers your question.
Awesome. That looks like the end of our questions. Remember, you can always post them in chat. And that'll be the end of our Q&A.
Thank you so much, guys. If you guys have an opportunity, please check out their ebook and the website. It's phenomenal, the work that they've done the last couple of semesters. And we'll also be sending out the links in our follow-up email too as well. If you didn't get a chance to scan the QR code, you will still have access to it. Now, please give a round of applause for our next project team, EverSmart City.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. It's been great getting to meet a lot of you guys. We're the EverSmart City team, and my name is Caitlin. I'm originally from Missouri in the Ozarks, and I moved here a few years ago. I'm continuing my degree with ASU in sustainability. This is my first term with GreenLight Solutions, and I'm looking forward to continuing with them for many more to come.
Hey there, I'm Mitchell. I come from Seattle. I'm studying mechanical engineering at Scottsdale Community College. This is my first semester with GreenLight Solutions, and I'm looking forward to signing on for more in the future as well. All right, so I'd like to introduce EverSmart City for you guys. They're a pilot sustainable city in the Phoenix metro area. Residents live and work in repurposed shipping containers. They grow sustainably produced produce, generate renewable energy, as well as collaborate to form a sustainable community of entrepreneurs. What is supposed to happen is our colleague from Germany recorded an audio clip to play.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it looks like the tech gremlins have gotten us again. It worked earlier during our rehearsal, but our dear Samarina, she is currently in Germany, so she's hopefully asleep right now. She's getting her second master's degree in sustainable development management, and she has gone over some of these slides. So I suppose we will go ahead and cover for them. Gemini, would you like to instead play it from somewhere? Yeah, we'd appreciate that. Samarina put time into her slides. All right.
Hello everyone, this is Samarina. So I will be talking about our assignment. So our assignment was to identify different energy storage options for 2 megawatt solar production. At the same time, we actually also looked into the additional energy production, which helps us to achieve SDG goal 7 and 11, which is sustainable cities and communities, and another is affordable and clean energy.
So we were presented with a problem for this term that we were trying to solve for EverSmart City, and using that, we developed our vision as well as our mission. Our vision is to have a plan to run fully on solar energy during the day and be 100% offset at night. To accomplish this, we ended up expanding kind of on our problem that was presented to us by not only producing options for energy storage, but also for energy production. Our mission to help us accomplish this was that this month we would have researched 5 energy storage options for EverSmart City to help run the community on solar energy. And then we would determine our best options to present here at the showcase.
We had 3 key performance indicators for our project this semester. The first one was to come up with 5 energy storage options that were compatible with EverSmart City's renewable energy plan. The second was to determine alternative power sources that would renewably power EverSmart City during non-producing hours for the solar cells. And then provide 3 of the most suitable options and present our top picks. We met or surpassed each one of our key performance indicators for this semester.
On the basis of Objective 1 solutions, we have identified 6 different energy storage options. And out of that 6 options, we have came out with our final 3 options, which is lithium-ion batteries, sodium-ion batteries, and absorbed plasma batteries. These options mostly own due to the recyclability, safety, and cost issues.
We found 5 alternative energy solutions for EverSmart City for Objective 2. Of these, hemp as an energy crop, whether biogas or solid fuel, distributed wind, and solar water heating won out. These were decided upon because they were the most suitable to scale for EverSmart City, as well as the efficiency in which they produce energy.
And finally, for our third objective, we had to sort all of our options so we could come up with 3 to present here at Showcase, with 1 being our number 1 option. So what we did is, you can see here on the right, our general rubric that we kind of used to determine how to score everything. This was developed largely with the help of the EverSmart team. We cannot thank them enough for helping us with this through the whole process. On the left-hand side, you can actually see the 2 separate rubrics we have for our Objective 1 options and our Objective 2 options. The highlighted options on each table are the top 3 from each that we were going to continue to sort. Since we were distant, we made more tables to put our votes into. And from our top 3 options, we voted to find out the number 1 option, which ended up being sodium-ion batteries.
In much of the US, wind speeds are low in the summer. The wind is strong in the winter when less sunlight is available, and may be stronger at night compared to the day. Because the peak operating times for wind and PV occur at different times of the day and year, hybrid systems are more likely to produce power when you need it. But the times when neither the wind turbine nor the PV modules are producing, most hybrid systems provide power through batteries and/or engine generator powered by conventional or biofuels. Best spots for wind turbines include high areas and places with large air turnover. Outside or between buildings that frequently vent heat, such as mining rig or greenhouse, this is the basic system setup for hybrid wind power, which is our 1 alternative power options for EverSmart City. The best system for EverSmart involves hybrid wind power using wind turbines but remain connected to other power sources. Wind power is very diverse and there are many turbine options. If we consider the installation cost, it's also lower than the other options. The most efficient overnight when we need more power produced due to the lack of solar production. Also, there are federal and state rebates available which actually cut the cost of installation for wind turbines. Therefore, we can consider it as one of the best options for EverSmart City.
The sun can keep the lights on in EverSmart City, but it can also heat its water. Solar water heating systems are a way to reduce our power usage. According to the Department of Energy, about 14 to 18% of a home's energy goes towards heating its water. Using a solar water heating system would allow EverSmart City to save 50 to 80% of that energy. With proper maintenance, the systems can live for up to 20 years, and at the end of their lifetime, they can be recycled, meaning less waste at the end. The idea is for each home to have its own solar water heating system. This would service the majority of its demand. Each home would still need to have a conventional water heating system installed in order to pick up the demand in especially cold winter months. But this would be for not much of the year. Electric water heaters can be installed to run on the energy from the solar power systems, allowing for zero fossil fuel use. Although the initial cost of solar water heating systems are higher, using them means less demand for electricity per home.
All right, now our number one option, sodium ion batteries. Now these do work pretty similarly to how the common lithium ion batteries work, but the upsides to these is it can be made using sodium, which is much more prevalent in Earth's crust than lithium. And it's typically made of recycled plastics or other material that are easy to recycle at the end of the life, as well as is easy and safe to manufacture. Because of this, they are less likely to be flammable. They don't typically experience thermal runaway, which tends to make batteries much more dangerous to be around, transport, or store. And they also have a wider operating range. As you can see, the top graph is provided by Natron, a battery manufacturing company. And you can see that especially compared to lithium ion, the sodium ion batteries have a much longer cycle life, meaning they will last a lot longer, even at deep depths of discharge, which could prove dangerous with lithium ion batteries. These do tend to be a little bit larger than traditional batteries, but they are easier to store, as you can see some of the storage systems by Blue Sky Energy. And they also have similar efficiency to already existing lead batteries. And since there's so many manufacturers in on the game, the efficiency of these batteries is increasing exponentially. Some real life examples of sodium ion batteries being used include Blue Sky Energy. They have their Green Rock line of sodium ion batteries. There is an apartment complex in Vorgel, Austria that uses at least 40 kilowatt hours of energy storage, and they even store the batteries in the apartment complex because they are safe. Natron is a statewide or a stateside company that produces sodium ion batteries, and they actually consult with companies to meet their needs, and they make batteries for everything from data processing to machinery to vehicles.
Using these solutions to store power, to mitigate power usage, and to produce power, we think EverSmart City can meet their power needs. We considered it a great pleasure to work with their project, and we relish the opportunity to do so.
All right, thank you guys for listening to us. We encourage you to reach out and to help out. EverSmart City has their early access open now. It's at this website link, and they are on multiple social media platforms. They're very active thanks to their early access, so I really encourage you to follow them and interact with all their posts to get the good word out. We also, all three of us, myself, Mitch, and Samarina, can be contacted on LinkedIn, or myself and Mitch can be contacted here as you'd like. So we encourage you to also reach out and ask us some questions whenever you're ready.
Okay, I have one question to ask. So I watched so many videos and realized that there is a lot of videos talking about so many lithium-ion battery implementations happening in multiple cities as well as in multiple cars. And what I just witnessed that there's been a lot of change. That the sodium-ion battery, I believe it's a new development to me. So have you seen any news regarding about whether there's a sodium-ion battery has been implemented at any locations besides what you have just showed? Or do you believe that the sodium-ion battery is something that is game-changing and would replace lithium-ion batteries when it comes to all other aspects of factors in terms of safety and whether it would be implemented?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there are multiple facilities that have used sodium-ion batteries across Europe, primarily in Germany. Vorgel is in Austria. That is actually where Blue Sky Energy is headquartered, but they do have a location in Idaho. So there's even people stateside that are using sodium-ion batteries. And They have a wide range of use that's possible. Right now, the biggest limiting factor is their size, especially because most batteries are still using aqueous solutions, meaning there's liquid. So the biggest concern is if we can use them for battery powered vehicles, which is what lithium ions primarily used for. However, companies like Natron have developed film sodium ion batteries, so it's able to become a bit smaller. And I cannot remember the name of the companies right now, but there are at least 3 others that I do have cited in my sources that are going to be developing and manufacturing batteries estimated to be in 2025. So we will be seeing a great increase in this technology.
Awesome. It looks like we have one more in-person question.
Yes, I was wondering how large the EverCity project is, how many residents they'd be hosting?
Do you remember how many Mark told us?
I think it was like 500 or something.
500. So that's a good question. I remember Mark Anthony, one of the co-founders, quoted me an exact number of residents the other week, and I cannot remember it, but the goal is to store at least 2 megawatts of energy. And it's going to host, I believe, 100 or more businesses. It's going to have a few hundred residents, and they're primarily going to be living in repurposed storage containers. They will be able to lease or rent these facilities, and many of them are going to be able to own a home and a business in the same complex. So it's making it very easy for people to live in a more sustainable community with locally sourced crops, circular economy, all the good stuff, all on one community.
Awesome. Great job, EverSmart. That will wrap up our Q&A. Remember, you can still ask questions in the chat.
Thank you so much, guys. It's crazy how much technology we have already. It's like there's so much you never hear about it, but it's so interesting to hear about these sodium ion batteries. Next, I would like to introduce GreenLight Delivers. Perfect.
Hi, my name is Veronica. I major in supply chain management, and it's my honor, and I'm really happy to be here to share our project with you. So this semester, we're going to work with GreenLight Delivers, and the CEO of it is Daniel.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, this is our members, Eller, and also me, Veronica. Okay, so basically, GreenLight Deliver is a company. It is an e-commerce, and it sells alcohol and also non-alcohol beverage online. So all of their business model and containers are sustainable. So they are willing to also support the nonprofit organizations who also support sustainability. So they come up with a project called Buy Me a Growler. Basically, this project is similar with Amazon Smile. So customers, if they're willing to support sustainable nonprofit organizations, they just have to add a little bit, maybe 5% to 6% of donation while they're purchasing on GreenLight Deliver, and they can these money will directly donate to these non-profit organizations. So these are our challenges during our whole project. First of all, it's we reach out to these potential customers and also nonprofit organizations and tell them our vision and missions so they can understand what we're doing and what we're supporting. And also our vision and mission match with their nonprofit organizations. So they're willing to join us and to be one of our members in the project. The second challenge is we do research on these nonprofit organizations and to found a lot of them, for example, Keep Tempe Beautiful, Keep Sendona Beautiful, and also some organizations, they sponsor, they support those like natural site far by the city in Arizona. So our third challenge is partnering with these nonprofit organizations. Basically, we're inviting them to join our team and also going all the process with them, how customers can donate back to their organizations. And this is our visions and missions. So our vision is to let more customers and also more people to know, have the knowledge and more like get close to sustainability. And also we globally delivers just support social and economic and also environmental impact through the whole society. And our mission is to, by December 2021, the whole team is going to be try to let more organizations to join our team. And also by this, it's also another way to promote Growly Delivers. So our first objective is to develop and implement decision-making frameworks for our local partnerships. So the first of all, we try to find at least 20 nonprofits and connect half of them. So we're still basically working on connecting with these nonprofits and willing to have more of them join our members. So our second objective is to let more people aware of this activity. So we come up with the press release for these activities, Buy Me a Growler, to let more people and also media to notice about this activity.
So on the right side, you can see our key deliverables. We managed to identify 24 nonprofit organizations relevant for Buy Me a Growler initiative. We contacted 14 of those nonprofits, and one of them actually joined the initiative. In terms of our second objective, we delivered fully, drafting a press release about Growler Delivers initiative. Equally important as these results are the challenges we faced during the process and lessons learned. It was mostly a communication process, so we had to call, leave a voice message or email identified nonprofit organizations. Due to COVID situation and not knowing exact office times of the persons, it was not an easy task to reach to a real person at the end of the line, which could have made the communication more effective. So most of the time we had to follow up the call and just send an email. For me, one of the specific challenges was that I'm not a native speaker, plus I was calling from another country, and when the person hears and sees this, there might be an understandable hesitation. Another difficulty was that what we offered was a partnership and with a new initiative, and few nonprofits would like to be the first one to come in, again, understandably. But these are certainly not excuses for anything, but the challenges that taught us to be more precise and passionate communicators, especially when the communication is about a fantastic local sustainability initiative. Our project supports SDG 8, 12, and 17. SDG 8 is being impacted by supporting local craft beverage artisans and therefore local economy. More customers for growler delivers means more partnerships with local craft beverage producers and greater impact on local economic growth. SDG 12 is being impacted by promoting growler delivers sustainable service based on circular economy to more people. Enjoying locally produced products delivered in reusable packaging, milkman style, is definitely a more responsible consumption. So more customers, more impact on SDG 12. Finally, SDG 17 is being impacted by established partnerships with local nonprofit organizations whose missions serve several SDGs. This is probably where the more indirect but the greatest impact is being made, because through announcing Buy Me a Growler initiative and partnering with local nonprofits, Growler is also helping expand the reach of other great sustainability projects. We hope that you're already excited about Growler Delivers and its initiative. And if so, you can support it by purchasing beverages from Growler Delivers and donating to the nonprofit organizations you like. You can also invite your family and friends to join the Buy Me a Growler program to advance sustainability in your community. And you're most welcome to suggest more nonprofit organizations to join Buy Me a Growler initiative. Well, this slide is kind of self-speaking. We'd love to see GreenLight logo in the Buy Me a Growler website too. GreenLight Solutions is a nonprofit doing fantastic work for a sustainable world. It is therefore a perfect fit with Growler Delivers mission and sustainability initiative. We'd like to invite GreenLight Solutions to join Buy Me a Growler. We really hope to achieve the long-term impacts previously mentioned in the SDG slide. But our short-term impact was that Growler Delivers was able to deliver a key message in a key time on Black Friday. And it was that there are simple ways to consume sustainably and support local sustainability instead of overconsumption. The other side of this coin is that no matter its size or type of business really, every social venture and firm can embrace sustainability by at least supporting others like Growler Delivers does. And finally, I should note that I learned a lot about Arizona and the Valley of the Sun, its people, challenges, and sustainability efforts. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for your attention.
Awesome, great job, Growly. We will now open it up to any questions that we have. So it doesn't look like we have any questions, so that'll go ahead and wrap up our Q&A.
Thanks for bearing with us through some of those technical difficulties. As I mentioned earlier, we have our first in-person students this semester, and Elner is actually living in Germany. It is 4 a.m. So he had pre-recorded his slides, but I suspect that it has something to do with Zoom. That did conclude our project presentations for the evening. I hope that you all enjoyed getting to learn more about what GreenLight's doing, what our amazing Solutioneers are a part of, and the vision that we're trying to embrace, not in just the local community here in Arizona, but all over the world now. I would like to take the time to thank all of our Solutioneers for the dedicated hard work that you guys show every semester, the great work that you do, and everything that you've promoted in the last couple of semesters. We're really proud to have you be a part of GreenLight. I'd also like to thank our board members for supporting everything that we do and being just as passionate about sustainability as we are. I'd like to thank my fellow LT members for helping me and for all of the work they do this semester and throwing this great event and being able to help our Solutioneers do all that they can and be the best that they can be. A special thank you to Ashley and everything that she does for all of us all semester, every year. And a special thank you to our project partners for supporting us and doing everything that you do with us in the community and allowing us to work with you to make the world a better place, to make it cleaner and greener. And lastly, to our mentors who have done everything they can to help us make sure that we can be the best that we can be, both sustainably and professionally. So now I'd like to turn it over to Ashley, who will kind of share with you the next steps.
Alrighty, I told you guys it would be an inspiring night. That these students blow my mind at all that they accomplish every semester. So just really quick, we're about to let you guys go. Thank you so much for staying with us here tonight. First is Giving Tuesday. We are still taking donations for Giving Tuesday, and your support makes all of our projects possible. The QR code as well as the text to give number is on all of your tables, and it will be in the chat as well. Next is smile.amazon.com. If you do any shopping on Amazon, if you start from smile.amazon.com, 0.5 of your purchase at no cost to you can go to GreenLight. So this is one way to give back. So choose us as your charity of choice. Next is our project partners and Solutioneer mentors. Our application deadline is December 13th. So make sure if you want to be a project partner or a Solutioneer mentor next semester, make sure to apply as soon as possible on our website. So in conclusion, I want to thank you all, to our new faces in the audience, both virtually and in person. Welcome to the GreenLight family, and I hope you get out of it as much as I did, and it opens as many doors for you as it did for me. And to the old faces in the room, we're grateful for you. So thank you guys so much. Look out for our event follow-up email, and I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashley. Yes, thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Erin, for all of that gratitude. Just again, thank you all so much, every single one of you, for being here, for putting in the work, for putting in the support. We cannot do any of this without you, and we genuinely cannot say it enough. Thank you all so much.